All right. So yeah, that's good. So today I wanted to share my pecan pie story. This shit. It's about a week after Thanksgiving right now. Um, Still got half the pie left because it's really not that good. I get it every year though. For Thanksgiving, it's it's one of my favorite traditions at this point. Mm, the reason I started, so it's mostly in all three. I was in the army in Iraq. We got there sometime in August, early August, and then we're acclimating to the weather, so on and so forth. Sometime in September is when I got in my first firefight. A couple weeks after that, um, we get sent out on an emergency mission. We're the quick reaction force that night. We load up, and this is Iraq 2003. So at this time, we were still looking for weapons of mass destruction. I was in the area of Fallujah. Um, so there's helicopters with gadgets that I guess detected something, and they send us there. We're there with our NBC guy, our nuclear biological chemical guy, attached to us. We get there. There's I never actually saw it. I got within I don't know what that come out to. I think I was about a kilometer away from it. Maybe about 6/10, 8/10 of a mile away from it. This thing we had these watches that would detect how much rads we got, and we were all in like the 20s, I want to say, and they said if you got above, actually I'm making up numbers. I don't know what the fuck it was, but whatever that thing was, where we were, it was about three times higher than what was supposed to be acceptable. Um, but I don't remember what the numbers were. And people that got close to it were like 10 times higher. People that were checking it out. But we're there. We secure it overnight. The next day, people come out in spacesuits, and then they put it in a big secure canister, drive off with it. Um, but since we were there, our higher command decided, like, hey, we need a presence on that side of Fallujah. So why don't you guys, just set up shop? And what kind of sucked about it is all I had on me was my little backpack, the assault pack is what we call it in the army. I had, maybe two pairs of socks, three pairs of t-shirts. I didn't have an extra uniform. Um, Nothing, we didn't really bring any reading material besides maybe one or two magazines that were already in the Humvee. And so it's four trucks. We start digging our foxholes essentially for the Humvee, a little bigger than the foxhole. But we end up hiring some locals with some tractors and crap to come out and move some dirt for us, fill sandbags, set up a little position there. On top of this, we all had the runs. We had some bad goat meat in Iraq because we decided to eat the local cuisine, and it was delicious, but one of those times it wasn't cooked right, so it kind of fucked us. When we went out there, it was probably late September. Yeah, it had to be late September sometime. Um, we're out there, and eventually, we got to upgrade our system, find more security, etc. We ended up finding this factory. I believe it was a cement factory, and we took it over. We commandeered it. Commandeered. It's one of my favorite words to use. It's when like you take it over during a time of war or something. Make it government property. Pretty awesome word. Like dropping it anytime I can. So we're at this factory, and at first we would try to go to our main base to get resupplies. We kind of got shot at too much, and the powers that be decided it's not worth the risk for us to go out there and get resupply. So we're out there, um, through September, October, most of November till Thanksgiving hits. There was some low times because it was it's hot as shit. We at least when we got in the cement factory, we had AC in the buildings, but when we were outside just sweating our balls off, shitting 20 times a day, it was fucking awful. We get inside, yeah, it's a little better, but food, it's not that great. We had MREs. Um, the best thing we were eating is I would get people to send me packages of powdered milk, or multiple of us, most of us would. And this powdered milk, we'd mix it with our ice cold water. We had little packets of cereal and we'd eat that. That's about the best food we had. Besides that, it was we couldn't go to our base. There was another base that we would go to from time to time. Not everyone, we'd send two trucks maybe, and we would they'd bring food back for people. But by the time it got back to us, it was cold. So this whole time frame, late September to Thanksgiving, about 2 months, um, no hot meal. I don't want to say no hot meals. That might be a lie. I might have had two or three when I was doing the resupply. Um, but it was no good meals, no hot meals. It was it's kind of shitty. Anyway, oh, and then on top of that, a couple of times we got shot at. There were some people that got hit. Humvees blown up. So it was, it just kind of sucked all the way around. Most of the time it was boring. Most of the time we're just staring at dirt. But those, 2 or 3 times of that something bad happens, it weighs on you a little bit. But then what happened is that Thanksgiving, we just hear over the radio, hey, choppers inbound, secure the landing zone. And our Sergeant Major Lambert, our big motherfucker, ended up being Sergeant Major of the 82nd Airborne Division later. He was just Battalion Sergeant Major at the time. And he was actually a pretty good dude. Everyone hated him because I guess that's what you do. You hate your superiors when you're in the Army. Not hate him, you just kind of talk shit about him. It comes with it because you're like, oh, I will do this different, that different. But after we lost him, after he got promoted out and we had someone else, it was like, dude, we had it a lot better with him. I didn't realize it until after he was gone. How much shit he shielded from us. But him, our lieutenant colonel, everyone, they get off the bird. They got these mermites, those big green containers full of food. Thanksgiving meal, the fixing, the ham, the turkey, the stuffing, everything. Bunch of pies, and we tear it up. And this is where I'm finally getting around to my pie story. I probably had pumpkin pie, apple pie. I don't know. I had a couple of slices of pie. I ate everything I could. I was sick for a couple of days. I ate so much. And they brought enough for everyone, enough of everything. They even brought so much that there was leftover pies at the end of it. And Sergeant Major Lambert, hey, Mo Dooms, I got some extra pies here. Whoever needs them. I look around. Nobody. Apparently, nobody heard this but me. And I'm like, hey, Roger, Sergeant Major, I got you. I'll get them distributed. And there was, I don't know how many they were, maybe 10. I grabbed 5 of them and ran to my room at this factory. I said, me and my roommate Fuller, we had our own room. Just grab the first 5, put them in there, come back. I was like, hey guys, there's a couple extra pies here, so they divvy up the rest of them. But me, I'm just a fucking selfish asshole. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna keep these pies. Fuck it, fuck everyone else. And then I go to open up the pies later. Open up the first box, pecan. Next box, pecan. 5 boxes of pecan pie. I'm like, are you fucking shitting me? Who puts nuts on pies? Like, who thought of that? That doesn't even sound good. But it's what I had. So, it's by far the best meal I've ever had in my life. That Thanksgiving meal. Nothing even comes to a close second. I've had expensive meals in Vegas and San Francisco. Nothing comes close to that. I'll always say that nothing will ever come close to that. And then after that, for days after, I had pecan pie, and I actually really liked it. I don't like this shit here. The way civilians make it, the way it's supposed to taste, I don't really like. It's too sweet for me. I'm not a big fan of it. The army fucks everything up, but they fuck pecan pie up in the way that I like it. It's not as sweet and it's really good. So even now, anytime the army sends me on missions and they have pecan pie there, they still use the same vendor. So I'm like, hell yeah, give me some of this. This is really good. I every time, and even Thanksgiving, every year, I buy pecan pie because for me, that's the way of remembering the troops. Just there are people still deployed, lots of places in the world, um, doing what you know, doing what needs to be done to keep this country safe. So in my own little way, that is my way of remembering the troops every Thanksgiving.